One card makes this S-Tier. Hello and welcome to the table, and today I'm back with another One Piece gameplay deck tech video. Today, talking about Shanks, a deck that I've been wanting to build for a very long time. And today is the day that I finally do it. Shanks is a very simple leader. He's a 5k 5 life red leader that once per turn, you can activate this effect when your opponent attacks. You can give one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1k power for the turn. So basically, the opponent swings 5 at your leader. Nope, just reduce it by 1, and boom, you just get a free 1k counter. Your opponent swings at one of your characters, and you get a free 1k counter. So basically, every turn, thanks to this leader, you get one free 1k counter, effectively, which is pretty solid. It can be incredibly annoying, can make numbers for the opponent just very frustrating at times. It's fairly simple, but, it works. But then, the whole goal of the deck is basically just slowing the opponent down, playing out a bunch of blockers, then just kind of unleashing a gigantic, monstrous endgame on the opponent, and just smile at them as they suffer. So, this deck kind of has 3 separate parts to it. You have the Searchers. You have more than 3 parts to it. But the 3 main parts of it are the Searchers, which basically are just 2 top 5 Searchers. For Red Hair Pirates cards, you have Blockers, which are Lucky Roo, both the Lucky Roos and Shanks, all of which are 3 ofs. Lucky Roo from OP09 being a 4/5 1k counter blocker, then on KO, you pop a 6k or less, which is awesome. Base 6k or less, which can sometimes matter a lot. You have Lucky Roo, the other one from PRBO2, 4/2 1k counter blocker. So, not a great stat line compared to the other Lucky Roo. However, on play, you can trash a character with 6k power or more from your hand to draw 2 cards, which is incredible. Love it. And then Shanks, being a 4/6 blocker that on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can trash a card from your hand, any card from your hand, to reduce a leader or character by 2k power for the turn. So, it's kind of like a mini Shanks leader effect. It's better in the sense that it gives minus 2k instead of minus 1k, but you have to trash a card from hand, so it's a better, worse version of the Shanks leader effect, and it's solid. There's a reason all of these are 3 ofs. I like them all, but none of them are really insane as 4 ofs. Like Shanks being a 4 of, it's a brick. It's great to see when you see it, but then afterwards, it's just kind of something you'd rather get out of your hand. Lucky Roo, it's 1k counter, but at the same time, it's just not an insanely good blocker if you don't have a 6k power character to be able to trash, to be able to cycle. So that can be kind of frustrating. It's great if you have too many of these other Shankses, but otherwise, it's kind of like, it can almost be more punishing than helpful at times, if that makes sense. And this Lucky Roo, it's a great 3 of, but sometimes against certain decks, it just doesn't matter if you pop a 6k or less. So there's a reason why it's a 3 up there. But then you got the kind of mid-game of the deck, and then the other main portion of the deck. But the mid-game portion of the deck is basically Law and Ben Beckman. These are kind of your mid-game monsters to help you get through the mid-game and then help support you in the late game. So Law being a 6/7 1k counter that I have been working with, I've been trying to figure out, okay, I want something to help me to reduce stuff, I want a good body, I want it to not be a brick, and this kind of does it all. Yeah, it's not searchable, but it's still insane. It's a 6/7 1k counter that once per turn, if it would be removed from the field by an opponent's effect, actually just reduces by 2k power for the turn instead, which sometimes can be really painful to do, and then that makes it more likely to die, but then the opponent likely will have to put more resources into it anyways. So for the most part, I think Law is just kind of a hard body to remove that also, when you attack with it, shrinks when your opponent's character is by 2k power for the turn. So it makes it very easy to help you manage parts of the board state, or allow you to do certain crazy combos like KO at 12k when you otherwise couldn't with this pop Shanks, that kind of stuff. Then you got Ben Beckman, a card that combos very nicely with this Law, because this Ben Beckman is a 7/7 1k counter that on play trashes a 6k or less. This being a 3 of simply because of the fact that there aren't a lot of great 6Ks out in the meta to trash. It's great when you can, otherwise it's just kind of a annoying body. It counters for 1, which is nice, but in tandem with this Law, now being able to hit 8k or less bodies, being able to trash 8K or less bodies, there's way more to be able to hit. A lot of 7Ks out there. You got some really annoying 8Ks that you don't really want to KO, but trashing works way better. Like, for example, with Nico Robin from UBL3, great card to trash with this Ben Beckman, and that kind of stuff. But then, you have the late game of the deck, which is basically all surrounded by this one card. Ben Beckman, brand new card, this one card, pushing Shanks up way high into the meta, maybe even S tier, because this card here is a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter blocker that on play, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, and if your leader has the red-haired Pirates type, and you have 10 Dawn cards on your field, you get to play a Shanks from your hand. So basically, on 10 Dawn, you get to play this 6K blocker, and one of these gigantic Shankses for 6 Dawn. You still have 4 Dawn to work with, and you develop a 6K blocker and a giant monster. That's pretty insane. So what are these giant monsters? Well, first off, we got 2 3-ofs of both the different Shankses, and then a 4-of of the last Shanks. So this first Shanks basically is a buff Shanks. It's a 9-cost 10K that can sometimes cost 6 if your opponent has a big enough body on board. And then on play, you give your leader plus 2K power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So your leader becomes a 7K for a little bit, which is solid. It's not always great, which is kind of weird, because being a 7K leader is really powerful, but generally this card just doesn't really do enough in certain matchups. Yeah, it's nice to be a 7K, but it almost kind of hurts because this isn't a rushing body, and it's only a 10K that you're playing versus a 12K like these other two, which is way more threatening. So it's like, this kind of hurts to play sometimes, because it's like, well, my leader becomes a 7K, that's great, but it's not a 12K like either of these, or it can't swing right away, and that's not necessarily as good, which is weird. But then you got Pop Shanks as a 3-of, a 10-12, that on play you get to KO a 10K or less. This card is insanely good against certain matchups like Nami or Blackbeard, the new Blackbeard, because reducing it through means such as Law, you can now make this guy a freaking, KO 12K instead of, a 10K, which is nuts to me. And also, speaking of which, Lime Juice is not supposed to be in there. What we're supposed to have in here to help out with all that kind of stuff is a Sabo Luffy. And getting into that, into the 2Ks, we have a Sabo Luffy and Hongo. A Sabo Luffy being a 1/1 2K counter that activate main, you can trash this character, give an active Dawn to your leader or one of your characters, you shrink something by 3K power, which is very good because it could be very helpful at, being able to get rid of a 12K body when you otherwise couldn't with this Pop Shanks. Or even a 13K in Roger with this Shanks, which is insanely good. Then you also got Hongo, a 3/3 2K counter that is searchable, and you can rest him, shrink something by 2K counter, or 2K power, so really good with this Shanks. And on top of that, these Shankses, since you'll have a little bit of Dawn left, since it costs 6 to play the Beckman in one of these Shankses, you can have, that 4 Dawn left, and you could play 2 Utas, because they'll cost 4 less if you have a 10K power higher body on board, and it's a blocker. It's a 4K blocker, and it's a 2K. So it's a chump blocker that's a 2K that you can swarm out on the board when you need it, when you play these big Shankses, which is awesome. But then lastly, you have this Shanks, the big Shanks, the 10-12 Shanks that has Rush. So great start, and says all your opponent's characters have minus 1K power. So this is permanent. The opponent doesn't kill this guy, or doesn't negate his abilities, or whatever, for as long as this guy sits on the board. On your turn, on your opponent's turn, their board is going to be 1K power lower than it otherwise would be. A 7K, now a 6K. An 8K, now a 7K. A 12K, now an 11K. And this stacks. So if you get 2 on board, 3 on board, 4 on board, now all of a sudden the opponent's board is 2K, 3K, 4K power less than it otherwise would be. And that is insane to me. So this is the deck. It's really stupid. It does a lot of crazy bonkers things. And let's get right into some of the games and see exactly how powerful this Shanks is, thanks to one card, Ben Beckman himself. So, hey, is this deck S tier? Let's find out. Alright, going up against Yamato, I will go second. And this is a very solid hand because it's got, you know, these cards. This searcher has to do a lot of work, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all going to be fine. We're going to get to draw a card. Yeah, we'll be okay. This is decent. That's not as much. Oof. There we go. Shanks. Alright. This is fine. Because we got the Shanks. Shanks is solid. Will help us be able to get out of some good swings. I think out of 6k swings guaranteed. Yeah. Because can reduce by 1 with Shanks and block. Yeah. Cool. Opponent's probably going to swing just 5. Okay. I might as well do that. They're gonna go, okay, I'll take. Hey, that Beckman isn't bad. That Beckman is not bad. Let's just, in case this ever matters, just go into Nico Robin. I don't think it'll ever matter if we go into something else. With, like, hold back this 2k for whatever reason. If they counter, I don't know why they would counter, ever. That'd just be confusing to me. If they do, hey, I'll take it. It's a card out of their hand, but not the right play in my opinion. What is taking them so long? I mean, what is there to decide here? Yeah. Like, I don't really understand. Generally, Yamato players that I've, like, played against on the sim, they generally counter very aggressively for whatever reason. And I'm like, I get that you want cards in your trash, like certain cards in your trash, but they just, like, counter out of the first 5 swings, which just, I've never really understood. Use, reduce, not gonna trash, I'll block. Free block, let's go. I imagine that is going to be incredibly annoying for the opponent going forward, which is always great. Love to see it. I like to keep this high life total for the time being because they are scary. I mean, you get another Beckman. Obviously. As far as everything else here goes, I'm just going to swing 5 in a life. And I'm going to swing 7. Should have gone 6-6. No, it's fine. Let's just go like this. Opponent maybe takes. Also, they countered with a SR Yamato. I don't know if that's bad or not. They have 5 Dawn. Don't they have the main event that can... Or they have the modal event with the main effect that costs 7 to basically return a Yamato? Pretty sure I'm not crazy. If that's the case, that is very unfortunate. If they have that. Very, 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 very scary. Though, I will, next turn, be able to play Beckman to trash something like an ace, if that matters at all. Because I won't... The on-KO won't happen, and that ace is going to be very annoying to just deal with that every turn, so... I don't know. Who knows? Figure it out. Whenever the opponent decides, there we go, decides to not trigger whatever their non-existent trigger is. I don't know if there are triggers in this deck. I don't think there are triggers in Yamato. Not that I know of. Unless there's, like, something very obvious I just can't remember that has a trigger. And like, most decks, whenever I think of triggers, it's like, okay, is it yellow? No? Okay, it doesn't have triggers, right? Because so few decks have, like, the amount of triggers that yellow decks do. Which, I mean, makes sense. That's kind of yellow's thing. But at the same time, they just played this for 6? No, they did play this. So this is going to be coming in for 5. That's going to be... Sure, you can do that. I'm perfectly happy with you wasting a 5k swing. Why would you do that is my question, but hey, I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to question it. So you're all good, opponent. Not confused in the slightest about any of that. I'm just gonna reduce, resolve. Opponent's gotta go 5. I'll block. If they don't, that's great. I'm not gonna trash. I'm just gonna block. So now they're gonna trash that, get the unblockable Yamato, which is honestly kind of the bane of this deck's existence. Do I counter out of this? I think I do. 2K, 2K. Not happy to give 2Ks there. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have countered with the Uta. That's a maybe minor misplay on my part. Probably a misplay on my part. This Shanks is going to be probably trash fodder to this Shanks, in my mind. Let's go 6 in the life. And we'll play Beckman, Trash, Ace. Not have to deal with the on-KO, which is awesome. And yeah, hopefully they don't have any more of these Yamatos. They have 2 in the bin already. They haven't searched for any. So I think we should hopefully be good. Hopefully they're banking on me killing that Yamato, which I'm never gonna do. Never gonna let that Yamato die. Now, if it's the other Yamato, I'm more than happy to let... Yeah, that's not great. That's not great. That's not great. That is not great at all. Hopefully they don't recur another unblockable Yamato. That's my hope. Honestly, okay. I think this Shanks honestly isn't super useful, which is crazy to say, but I just don't think it is. So I'll use this Shanks, trash, and then not have to deal with that swing. Then they put an active Dawn on this Yamato, which is fine. Use the action to give that -1, and then block. If they go 8 into that, I'll let it go. That is perfectly fine with me. I can't really do much else to protect it, save it, whatever at this point. Hopefully they don't swing with this Momo. They just swing 8 with this, which I'm fine taking. Okay, cool. We got another one of these Shankses anyways, which is fine, I guess. Probably should play the Uta. But first, let's play Beckman. Playing the Pop Shanks, popping that. So that's great. Love to see it. And then what? Uta. Can't grab herself, right? Yeah, red-haired pirate type. That's unfortunate. Probably get a Lucky. I think a Lucky's fine. Because it actually counters. Let's go 7 in a life, and then we'll go 8 in a life. I think that's the right play. Okay. 8. Hopefully they take. They block. And they give us 1,001 Ks. Okay. Why would you not just block with the Ushimaru then? I don't know. I'm not going to question it. Opponent made a pretty big misplay in my opinion. Maybe. The fact that they have that combo a second time around though is a little frustrating. But next turn we have these 2 cards, this being a great combo card to help us hopefully manage the board a little bit. A little bit would be nice. Or go for game. Honestly, can't really go for game next turn, I don't think. The 8. Use the card action to minus, and then 2k, 1k. Not great. Not a giant fan of that, but yeah, I think we're good countering out of that. Maybe I should have taken that swing, but then they would have been more inclined with this Yamato to get an unblockable Yamato, and it's not wonderful. That, yep, got a little punished. Yeah, should have taken this swing. Should have taken the Yamato swing. They could go for game this turn. I don't know if they'll do that or not, but they could. They definitely could. Especially after my stupid mistakes. To be fair, last turn, they gave us a bunch of 1Ks, so we could go for game next turn, and that honestly might be our only line if the opponent swings with their blockers as well. Hopefully they do. Okay, another Yamato, getting back that Yamato, so they're just going to be able to continuously do the things of the stuff. Or they grab a 2K. That's fine too, I guess. What? Sure. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Cool. I think, honestly, I'll play this, use the action, play this Shanks. I'll play the Lucky Roo. So let's just go 12 into that Yamato first. Hopefully, they don't block. They let it go. Okay, this is good. This is a positive thing. Positive things going on here. At this point, I'm just kind of thinking we need to build a wide board. Wow, a lot of 1Ks. Why would you not just chump block with the Ushimaru there? So we have 3 blockers, one of which can KO one of their smaller guys, like these Momonosuke's, which is awesome, because I would love to get these blockers off the board, preferably forever. So I'm thinking because they got that, what's her name, back. Well, how many Momonosuke's? 3 Momonosuke's, 1 Shinobu. So do they have another freaking Momonosuke in hand and then the Shinobu combo again? If they do, they actually do have to play over something, which I don't know if I'm fine with, necessarily. But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. This game is going to be incredibly close. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, Nami. This is kind of positive. They got a Yamato. Okay. What did they just do? They just did the thing, that event that does all the things of the stuff. Okay. So, 8 into face. Opponent. I can't block. I want to block so bad. I forgot that was unblockable. I'm like, opponent? Why'd you do that? Because I would have immediately blocked with this Lucky Roo and KO'd that Yamato. Because if I did, ooh, they probably would have conceded instantly. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. I think it's very good right now that we are an 7K leader, because if we weren't, probably would lose this turn. Probably would. Probably would. 9. Alright, use the action, give that -1, 2k counter. Okay, got a bunch of swings. They have 3 blockers. They have 1 Dawn up. They have 4 cards in hand. Can we go for game this turn? We are gonna try. We're gonna try, because I don't think we can live another turn after this, so we're just gonna try to go for it now. That is my 2 cents on it. Okay, they immediately block. Love to see it. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go 8. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Gonna go 8 in the life, which probably gonna block, considering that they blocked out of the 7. I think we got them here. I don't know what they could do. They could have the ground death, which definitely would counter for 4 here, which would be annoying. So that would be 1 swing they could counter out of, 1, 2 that they would block, and then 10 and 12 would have to hit. Okay, this is a good sign for us. Go 8 into life again, which hopefully, okay, they block. Sweet, 9 into life. Just gotta hope. Just gotta hope that they block out of this one. Block out of this one, and I think we got them. Maybe. Hopefully. If we don't, we lose. Which is great. But, what are you gonna do, I guess? I think they have to block here. Based on they take. Okay. I don't know if that's good or not. But whatever. They should block here. Or they couldn't. Okay. We beat them. We beat them anyways. They could have blocked that one, and then we go 12, and then we kill them. Whoo! Whoo! That was an incredibly close game. Very happy that this Shanks decided to pop back up again. Probably should have gotten rid of this Shanks, all things considered. Becoming a 7k leader against this deck is way more valuable than this guy. As much as I love this guy is probably better in the matchup, so slight misplay on my part, trashing this guy a while back. But hey, I drew him anyways. I drew him again anyways, so it's okay. But hey, let's get into another game and see what Shanks can do. Going second against Teach. And this hand is garbage. This hand is better. Don't know what that voice is. It is very strange. Like me. Okay, Lafitte. Not a great start there. Do I just get another Lucky? Or another Ben? Honestly? Probably, maybe? The Pop Shanks is nice, but these are just so valuable that I kind of have to take them when I see them, so we're gonna go with that. Even though it maybe isn't necessarily the best play in the universe, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, Lafitte is annoying. I hate to see this guy, but Uta can swing into Lafitte, and then I will be happier on the inside. That does not make me happier on the inside. Okay. Resolve. Another Lafitte? That would be annoying. That would be incredibly annoying. Vasco shot. Alright, that's fine. Go 2 into Lafitte. Hopefully they let it go and don't counter. Granted, I mean, I would swing 5 into them and I would get counter out of them anyway, so I don't know. This way I have to get out of 2k, so I actually do counter. Counter for 2. Nope. Okay. 5 in a life. And then I play Lucky. Lucky does things. Lucky does they took. Okay. That's something interesting, potentially. I don't know. Lucky. Pass the turn. This guy, very annoying, hopefully, for the opponent. Honestly, not the best of the 4 costs I could have drawn, but at the same time, I mean, this guy isn't that bad. I think he's decent. He's decent. He's decent. Alright, 2. I'm just gonna let the Uta go. Because, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that to swing into the Vasco shot now, but they're not gonna, you know, let the guy stay. Whatever I'm trying to say. I love to talk. I'm so good at talking. With 5 Dawn, they probably play... I mean, they don't ever play out the, whatever his name is. Okay, so they're playing... Yep, San Juan Wolf. I don't know why they're playing that out. Because from what I've been told every time that I've ever talked to a Teach player at my locals, San Juan Wolf is not a card that you play out. So that piques my interest. It's like, okay, this is interesting. Ben Beckman. That will be a great play for next turn. I have this Lucky Roo, so let's just go 6 into J Life. Opponent redirects, and fine, whatever. What are you gonna do? But the Lucky Roo is not something the opponent really wants to swing into, necessarily. Because if if this ever dies, San Juan Wolf dies. Alright, you get a... Okay, cool. I will play on that Lucky Roo, and then pass. So if they ever kill this guy, I can just KO that San Juan Wolf. Now, granted, I don't necessarily want them to do that, because I would prefer to play Ben Beckman next turn, and... Do I... I'll take. This draws me 1. Sure. Ooh, another Ben Beckman. That's a good card to counter with, I guess. So now they're going to play, what's it called? Alright, 5. Definitely going to reduce that. Now they're going to play the, Shiryu. It's a good one. I was going to say, do they have another Shiryu? Because that would be annoying to have them recur, or whatever. Alright, definitely playing Beckman to trash the San Juan Wolf. Awesome. Love to see that kind of stuff. And then I will go 6 into life, which, opponent, do whatever you want with that. If you block, I don't know, redirect with the Vasco shot, you rest 1 of the Lucky Roos, I'm fine with that because it's getting a card out of your hand either way, and an annoying piece of crap off board. Granted, you're not going down cards in hand, but you're losing a potential card that's useful, or I don't know. Yep, there is a 2K gone, and then the thing on board gone. Yeah, my Lucky Roo's rested, but if the opponent swings into it, fine, whatever. It's not a swing coming at life, so it effectively is still blocking, if you will. Okay, they got the full lead finally. Full lead is honestly a very good card for that deck because there's so many things you want in the trash in order to be able to, like, bring it back with the Shiryu. Or get 1 cost into the trash in order to be able to get it back with Katarina or something like that. I like the idea of the deck a lot, it's just parts of it are a little bit frustrating. Like, for example, Yellow Scum. Not all of it. Most of it, I think, is actually kind of fine, but certain parts of the deck, like if you're playing the version that's just kind of the cringy 8. You have 8 Dawn. Well, I know what you're playing with that. I might as well not use the card action, just block with the Lucky Roo. Not KO anything, which is annoying, but whatever. It's fine. It effectively acted as like a 4K counter, which I think is always useful. Okay, not what I thought they were gonna do. That I'm fine taking. Huh. Okay. This is interesting. Huh. Let's play Beckman. Playing this Shanks, reduce everything by 1, which is sweet. And honestly, play Shanks. But let's start with a 5k swing in a life. Probably should have done this in a different order. I didn't see that Shanks until just now. I thought I was going to put Dawn on stuff, but not the case. Not the case. Honestly, I'm kind of starving them here. They have very little to work with right now. Yeah, they just got another thing on board, which I imagine is probably... What? Oh, I thought they didn't bring back a 1 cost for a second. I'm like, what did they just do? Why'd they do that? Alright, now I will go 7 in life, which they will probably redirect. Since, oh my god, the Vasco shot, it's not rested? Okay, they took. That is not what I thought they were going to do. Okay, that's kind of annoying, actually. What trigger do you have? You're going to KO the Beckman. Ouchie. Let's go 12 into Shiryu. This, the opponent will redirect for sure with the Vasco shot. Rest the Lucky Roo. Very frustrating, but what are you going to do? Why did they... yeah, they triggered the Teach. I'm like, did they just draw the Teach? They gave me a 2k counter. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's a 2k counter out of their hand. And now if they play the 10 cost... I know they have a Z-Ha-Ha in the hand, I think. Yeah, okay, they never trashed it. I'm like, I don't think they trashed it. So Z-Ha-Ha into the 10 Blackbeard, the blocker Blackbeard. I was about to say blocker beard, and I'm like, yep, they just did the thing. The fact that they negated this instead of that Shanks just kind of blows me away. But I will give them a 1k counter. I will, in fact, give them a 1k counter. This, I will give 2k counters, right? Yes, 2Ks, because I don't want to go down too much in life. Okay, so this is where I start with 5 into the life. Hopefully the opponent redirects into that, or just, hopefully the opponent just kills this for some stupid reason, like somehow. They don't though, which is sad. Okay. So, I have 4 Dawn that I would be able to use. So, in that case, let's go. 7 in a life. I think that's good. Good, fine, and dandy, and all that kind of jazz. Oh, boy. Okay, opponent takes, which I am perfectly fine with. Spend 1, play this Shanks over that. Now, I will go... Yeah, opponent concedes. I'm like, I think I just got it from here. I put 4 Dawn Shanks, go 9 in a life. Opponent blocks because they can't counter out of hand. I'm like, I'm debating whether or not to go into Shiryu. I'll just go 9 in a life. They block. Then I go 12 into Teach. They redirect. Then I go 12 into Teach. It dies. All they have left on board is a Shiryu, which is only a 6k at this point. Yeah, next turn they can play another Teach, which is incredibly annoying. But you can only negate one of the guys, and I still have 2 blockers to be able to make sure that this Shanks or whatever stays alive. And then from that point forward, I mean, I just think I'd just whittle down this. They have so little in hand to work with to help defend, and they would have so little on board, and I just kind of kill them. But yeah, let's get into another game, see what else Shanks can do. All right, Going up against a green-blue Luffy who is going second. Crap. That hand is garbage. This hand is also really bad. Woof. Okay. And of course, they have the turn 1 combo. Are you kidding me? Okay, this is slightly better. That isn't as bad. Still not great, but not horrific. Opponent, I imagine, takes. Pass. Okay. We are not gonna do goof. Okay. They got our Dad's Bones. They're probably gonna play. Yep, Bond Clay. Restand 2, go 6. Never mind. Okay, now they get a restand 2, Dawn. They can go 5 with this Luffy, which I guess is an option. This I will counter. And then the 6 I'll take. Yeah. Okay, start with 5 into the Daz Bones because that's disgusting. Then play this. Wow. Okay. So I can't add itself. I wonder what card do I get? That's a joke. But honestly, this is actually kind of a better play than the Shanks. Even though it is a brick in hand right now, this, I can block something and then kill another thing. It's great. It's perfect. It's perfect. The opponent doesn't even know. The opponents just, they don't even know. What are they doing? What are they doing? They don't even know. For a second, I thought they were only on 5 Dawn. I'm like, what just happened? They're going to do the buggy into prisoner? Because if they do, that is going to be sad. Okay. This is not as sad, but still semi-sad. Whatever. It's okay. Okay, this just going to reduce. Because why would I not? This is 6, which I will take. And cool. So, let's go 5 into the Bond Clay. Play Beckman. Right? Yeah. Play Beckman and trash. And then pass. Alright. So, I have some guys on the board. This, I'm just gonna counter out of. And they have 7 Dawn, so it's probably a Boa, in which case I'm gonna cry on the inside. Alright, crying on the inside. Thankfully, we have this Shanks to pop it, but still. Still sad. Still sad. Use action, reduce, and then 2k. Because I kinda need to stay alive. 9 Dawn. So this costs 6. So I have 3 Dawn to work with. Which doesn't really do me much of anything, but I think it's fine. Let's just go there. Let's just go into the Daz Bones. Just go into the Daz Bones. And then do that. And then play the Uta. Into, hey, Ben Beckman. Love to see it. And a pass with 2 Dawn up. Maybe it scares the opponent. Because I'm a 7k, I'm probably only going to take 1 from the Boa. Oof. Okay, that I'm actually fine with. Them getting rid of that Galdino right now. Because that is not something that they're going to swing with. Never mind. And they pop the other one. Never mind. We're all good. Are they going to play a 3rd Galdino? Yeah, sure. I'll take. I think that's kind of a smart play. Okay. use card action, reduce, and 2K. So, they don't really have much of a board, though, honestly, right now, which is really good for me. Let's start with 5 and a life. Get a card out of the opponent's hand. Who knows? Maybe they take with 12 cards in hand. They have so little counter. Play that Shanks, pop that. Then I'll play another Shanks right there, and then pass the turn. So yes, I only have 3 cards in hand, but they basically have nothing on the board, and I have a gigantic board. And I will reduce, no trash, and block. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is here. Okay, and there's the third one that they drew. Where's the fourth one? Where is it? Show it to me. Show me the fourth one. You have 23 cards left in deck. You have a whole 10 more cards at your disposal. Woof. Okay. This Ben Beckman is actually going to be kind of nice. Yeah, I would have to play it over the top of something, but I could trash that buggy, which is pretty powerful. They get a prisoner. Okay. Okay. So 7 Dawn, so I would have 3 left to work with. 1, 2, and I go 6. I think that's fine. Okay. Play. Let's go. Let's just start with 6. Let's just start with 6. The opponent makes it a blocker, so maybe they block with it this turn. Let's go 7. Who knows? I hope they block with this prisoner. They use that to counter, which is actually pretty giant, pretty gigantic. They're countering with, okay. Go another 7. Okay, they take. 12, they block, right? No, dang it. I was really hoping that that wasn't what they were going to do. Play it over the top of that, and trash the buggy. And then pass the turn. So, next turn, I definitely kill them. Right now, I definitely reduce, no trash, 1K. So, I don't see them being able to kill me this turn. I don't see a world where they can kill me this turn. And then next turn, I don't... Could they survive? I'm trying to think of how many blockers they could play. I mean, yeah, they have 11 cards in hand, but I have 6 swings. 6 of them. And they have 1 life. So, you would think that I could tread through that hand very quickly. Another Galdino. All the Galdinos. I'm like, maybe I should play it over top of this shank. Yeah, no. 6. No trash. 1K. Not letting that go. Are they gonna go, let's see, 5. It would be 7 into Shanks, in which case I can counter. If that's the case, I'm very happy. That's more than 6. That would be 9 into Shanks. Oh. Oh. That blocker is gonna potentially be annoying. But it'll be fine. There's no way. Okay. So. I want to make that a 7. I want to make this a 7. So that would leave me with 7 Dawn left. 4 things to give it to. I could go 8, 8, 8, 9, 12. I think that's right. 8, 8, 8. Yeah, it's more than that. Let's just start with a 9k swing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I could do one 9k swing. So, now that I know that, let's go 8 into life. Oh, the opponent just made a giant mistake there. 2, 3, and 4. And go 9 into life again. Who knows? Okay. 2k. Okay. So now go 12 into life, which they block. And then 9 into prisoner. I should just keep that up as a blocker. I think I messed up. There. Yeah, I just messed up there. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm dead now because I made a giant misplay. Should have kept that back as a blocker. But even then, 1, 2, 3 swings. Oh, maybe they mess it up. Use, reduce, no trash, 2k. Who knows? Maybe. Okay, take. There is a world where I still live. 2, 3, 4. The fact that I don't have a 6k in hand. No, it's just a card. Never mind. Never frickin' mind. And then counter for 1. Wait a minute. Do I still live? Do I not die here? Did the opponent mess up? 1, 2, 3 different cards. So they only need 2, 2. No, they still have it. Hopefully they don't see it, but they still have it. Because they could put 2 Dawn on, swing 5. And then they could put the rest of the Dawn on and swing a lot more than 5. Which they saw it. Oh my god, if I kept back that blocker, I would have lived. If I kept that blocker back, I would have lived. And then I would have been able to kill them, for sure. So, I should have won there. I made a massive misplay, swinging with the Shanks. They could not have done anything. So yeah, should not have swung with the Shanks. But outside of that, this deck actually does some pretty solid work. One of the people at my local says that this deck just can never win, and it sucks, and it isn't good. And actually, I think it's very good. Despite me losing this game, literally, I hold this Shanks back. I keep this Shanks up, I live. And then I kill them. So, if you take that aside, I think that this deck is really good because it can compete and do stuff into the top tiers of the meta. And yeah, it's really good. This deck is really, really good. And just because of one card, where is it at? Just because of this one card here, Shanks has now become, potentially, an S-tier deck. So, with all that aside, check out the rest of my OP16 videos right here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, it's completely free, you won't regret. Check out my other One Piece deck tech videos right here, and I will see you all in the next video, and hey, enjoy!